views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Code Lavender October edition. This is very near and dear to our hearts. We are celebrating Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Topic that's very special to me. My grandmother is a victim of breast cancer. So I'm excited. Today we are honored to be joined by Nick Singer. He is the president and founder of the Mina Singer Foundation. And I was just saying to Tanya in the car on the way here, I am so impressed by the work they are doing.
Oh, yeah.
It's a remarkable nonprofit organization. And they recently just celebrated 5 years of making an impact. And, you know, they are using the game of hockey, which is so exciting because I love sports, to support children, specifically who have moms out there battling breast cancer.
Yeah, I mean, you heard it right. Hockey and healing. We'll be diving into what that connection means. And we'll also talk about the nursing side of breast cancer care, the unspoken emotional labor, the advocacy, and the relationships that actually change us as nurses. It's a story that's pretty much born from heartbreak and transformed into hope. After losing their mother to breast cancer, the Singer brothers found healing on the ice during a simple scrimmage with the family and friends. What started as one game to clear the heads became a movement, first raising funds for breast cancer research, and now building a national community of support through their own 501c3.
So in just 5 years, the Mina Singer Foundation has deployed more than $125,000
Amazing.
to families across the whole country. And they are proving that healing, advocacy, and community can take many forms, even if it's just in a hockey rink.
Yeah, that's right. In this episode, we're going to explore that powerful connection between hockey and healing, while also shining a light on the nursing side of breast cancer care, the unseen emotional labor, the advocacy, and the relationships that leave a lasting imprint on all of us as nurses and healthcare practitioners in general.
So Tanya, just, you know, as a nurse at the bedside, you know, what's that journey look like nursing wise?
It's so deeply personal. You know, you're not just managing meds and vitals. You're holding someone's hand before the mastectomy. You're explaining chemo side effects while you're looking into the eyes of someone who's really just trying to stay strong for their kids. It can be, that can be one of those times that you kind of have to take a knee at the end of the day, and it takes some time to put yourself back together.
Yeah, and I think just, you know, the strength we see in our patients, and, you know, it's a diagnosis that's often made in women our ages. We're young.
Yeah.
We're moms. It's staggering. It's scary. I've never really met somebody who's not afraid. Sometimes they don't tell you. There's a massive financial burden with this diagnosis that I think that nobody really knows. I have a lot of friends. I just lost a dear friend.
As I have, brilliant optometrist, and it touches all of us. I wish it didn't, but it does. And we don't always talk about how breast cancer actually affects the entire family, though, Ashley, especially the kids. And that's why today's conversation is so important for those of us in healthcare, because it highlights the need for continuity of care that extends beyond just the hospital.
Yeah, and I think, you know, it's a long diagnosis too. This is not like a come into the hospital, get your surgery, get your treatment, and kind of walk away. And that, you know, that was a rough couple weeks or whatever. Yeah. So I think, you know, that's where our next guest comes in, because it really talks about how a lot of this journey happens outside of the hospital, and life goes on. People, you know, kids have to go to hockey practice.
They sure
have to go to school. homework has to get done.
Yeah.
You know, things have to happen.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I mean, we're just so honored to welcome Nick Singer, the president and founder of the Mina Singer Foundation. His family journey shows how community and even hockey can become powerful tools of support for children whose mothers are battling breast cancer.
yes, so Nick, thank you so much for joining us and sharing how your loss became, you know, more of a mission to help others and find strength on and off the ice.
Well, thank you for having me. I apologize at first for my voice. It was a long week, big Giants win, and I'm sorry, but you know, you guys as frontline workers and we as kind of people who are in touch with the family, we have a unique place in this October breast cancer awareness spotlight, right? So much of what they talk about in October is statistics and percentages, but there's a human element, and I think you guys and we share the human element a little bit more so than most of the other nonprofits out there. So, you know, we are dealing directly with the patients. You guys are dealing directly with the patients. We don't call them patients. You call them patients, right? To us, they're hockey moms.
Yeah.
And what we're doing, you know, theoretically helps the emotional side of things more so than the financial, right? A lot of what we're doing is raising funds to then support the family financially because, like you said, there are peripheral bills that go on around here.
Yeah.
But also, you know, we're working with these families hand in hand with their kids who see what's going on. And we're really we're there for emotional support as much as we are for financial support.
Oh, that's wonderful. Why, Nick, did you choose hockey as your platform, curiously?
Well, as a Canadian, you know that hockey's a great sport. Here in the US, it's a little more niche than it is in Canada. It's not as widespread. The community happens to be a little bit smaller. And in such, it becomes a little bit more tight-knit.
Yes.
And we were a part of that community growing up, and we recognized firsthand how tight-knit that group is.
Yes.
From a emotional support standpoint with the families, from a we've got your back if somebody's going through something. The community of hockey just rallies behind you. And it's more than just, you know, we are a team, we're playing a sport. It's your emotional support system. And we're, you know, hockey has a way of taking away the rest of the world.
It does.
If you're stepping onto an ice rink, it's a little bit different than stepping onto like a soccer field.
Yeah.
You're closing a door behind you. There are boards and the rest of the world.
Well, not if you're in Canada. You
Normally in Canada, you play a little bit outside. Not so much here. But you'll step in, you'll close the door behind you, and the outside world fades away.
True.
And that is so important for a kid whose world is crumbling at home, that they can go to their safe space and participate in a sport. Sometimes, like we said earlier, Tanya, kids don't necessarily have to be in the conversation of what's going on at home to know what's going on at home.
Yeah.
They can feel it. It's like you said, it's their mommy.
Yeah,
right?
It's their mommy. I mean, that's one of the big ones, you know, usually in the family dynamic. I mean, they can be made up of a lot of things, but typically it would include mom. And I just can't imagine how jarring it is for a child to have lost that kind of structure in their world.
We do our best to keep it in place because we recognize how important it is. And if you've played hockey, if you played any team sport for that matter, you know that all of the moms on the team are somewhat in a maternal position to you. They're there for you. Yeah. And when your mom's struggling, a lot of times we'll see the other moms step up to the plate and rally behind her and grab that kid and say, we'll take you to hockey practice today. Right. And so much of that community is ingrained in the hockey culture that it's just, we felt it while we were in there going through it, that it was no question where we were headed, giving back.
Oh, amazing.
And I think, from the very beginning, how did the idea for the foundation come about, and what role did your mom actually play in shaping the mission of this organization? Yeah.
So as you guys said a little earlier, this wasn't really put to paper before. It was kind of a natural occurrence, right? It was organic in nature, the way this came about. We had just suffered a loss. And like I said, the hockey community, everybody feels that loss together. And though we were older, right? I was in my mid-20s. We still had that same sense of family with the kids we grew up with and played hockey with. So those are the same people that were there for us while we were struggling, while we were grieving. And we had this idea to say, hey, life has been a little crazy. We had a long battle with cancer in our family, and then we ultimately lost our mother. Why don't we all come together, take a breather on the ice and clear our heads? Much like we said, hockey has a way of melting the outside world away. And we did. We stepped onto the ice with our family and friends who we had known from hockey in the community, right? From that hockey world. We were all able to come together in sport, let the rest of the world fade away, and get out there and clear our heads. And it worked. And then, after that game, we all went into the locker room, showered up, kind of riding that high of euphoria. Hey, we're all back on the ice together, having gone through this together. Let's go out to the restaurant, grab a couple of burgers and some beers. And while we were sitting there, you can just feel the energy in the room where, wow, that was really, really fun. That was really, really light. This is powerful. We need to harness this. Yeah. And from there, we said, we'll meet back up in the same spot in a year's time, except this time we'll do it as a fundraiser. And it just kind of happened. And everybody was on board. Everybody sitting at that table. And when we shared it with the community, we had unending support, right? Small businesses, family members, friends of family. They said, if you guys are doing this, we're behind you. What do you need, right? And the community came together again a year later. And we had chosen Breast Cancer Research Foundation, a great organization, to donate our proceeds to. And we had a very successful event. And then from there, we kept it going. It became an annual tradition. And all of our friends and family from the hockey world and outside of the hockey world joined us.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I could see this just being such a contagious kind of movement to keep kids in team sports.
Well, at that time, we hadn't yet come up with our new mission. So we were going towards the Breast Cancer Research Foundation and just raising awareness. And we had breast cancer survivors reach out to us and come to our event.
Oh, it's incredible.
Again, you don't necessarily need to know hockey, right, to know that there's something here.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah. I mean, it's just such a powerful kind of setting that you're turning grief and healing on the ice into something bigger than just yourselves. Was that when was the moment that you guys kind of realized, well, maybe we should take this just one little scooch further?
So it was always in the back of our head. Hey, this would be really cool to, develop our own mission out of, right? Take all of this energy and push it somewhere directly giving back to the hockey world that gave back so much to us. Yeah. But as you know, life can sometimes get a little busy, get a little in the way. And so for the first few years there, we were hosting this fundraiser and donating the funds back to the Breast Cancer Research Foundation. Net in the first 4 years, we put through, I think, $11,000+ toward the Breast Cancer Research Foundation from our events.
Wonderful.
Thank you. And then once COVID hit, you guys were on the front lines. For the rest of the world, life slowed down. I'm sure for you guys, it was a crazy time. You were the busiest you had ever been. But for my brother and I, we were working from home largely. Yeah. And so we were able to kick it into neutral kind of in a life around our careers and put forward the effort to form their own 501c3.
So organic, the way it came together.
It just kind of happened, after only a couple of years.
Like you have this knack for turning something horribly unpleasant into a positive.
I cannot credit myself. I have to give full credit to my mother, right? Yeah. She was that kind of a person. Yeah, she would be in her bonnet and she would go for it. She's a very boots on the ground type person.
I love that.
Yeah, I mean, here's a quick story, if you don't mind.
Oh, please.
When we were younger, we played in a hockey league. Hockey was kind of newish in our area. It wasn't as widespread, but the Rangers had run to the Cup, and all of those in my age group started to play hockey. But we were playing on an independent team that didn't necessarily have a league, so we had to find opponents. So my mother just said, "We're going to play whoever will play us." Invited a whole bunch of the hockey moms over to the house. They sat there. It was the mid-'90s. You couldn't Google places, right? Yeah. Took out the phone book, started dialing arenas within like 90 miles and said, let's get these kids to play some hockey. And that's just the kind of person she was.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Question from the penalty booth.
Oh, boy.
When you say community? What part? Is this Jersey, New York? Where is it?
We were Staten Island based.
Oh, hello. Shaolin.
And the Jersey teams did not want to play us. after only a couple of games going head to head. A little bit of a rowdy group, right? But
No, not Staten Island. Come on, I'm from there.
but we had to extend our boundaries. So we were searching West New Jersey, Southern New Jersey, Northern New Jersey, upstate New York. We were going wherever we could find a game, but that meant that somebody had to schedule those games.
Yeah.
And not, it was my mother, it was several other women on the team as well. They just came together, and those are not just filling slots for kids.
Yeah.
Those are building bonds for a lifetime, right?
Yeah.
Because that group of people would hop in the car for a 2-hour trip to go to a hockey game. And those moments that you spend in cars with friends and family and teammates, that's where the magic happens.
It's true.
And so all of these people were brought together by these efforts. So when it came time to support us and say, this is a family that's grieving,
Yeah.
it was no question. They all jumped in right back on the ice together, and they said, I'll mark my calendar. I'll be there next year. And since then, that was 2015. We've had 10 years of continuity in the game with much of the same people. So it's been very cool. And the support from the outside has just kept pouring in.
Where is your big game played? Like the one that makes the most money? Like where is that game played and when?
Yep. So we have lots of little events that go on all over the country. Actually, we're nationwide. So our mission has reached the West Coast and 11 other states. But our marquee game, our main fundraiser, is in Woodbridge Community Center in February on President's Day. So year after year.
Exciting.
Mark the calendars, come on out. It's a great time. We have wonderful raffles. We have somewhat competitive hockey, right? It's aging in scope, but this is actually kind of cool. We're getting a little younger because this will be the first year that we're going to have a child in one of the families that we've supported join us in the starting lineup.
Oh,
So
incredible.
we're going to start getting a little bit younger and a little bit faster. But nonetheless, the event is fantastic and we have a great
That's
time.
amazing. That's just so great. We as nurses, we often say that breast cancer doesn't just affect the patient. It definitely affects the whole family and in fact, the community, right? I mean, how have you seen your foundation impact kids and mothers specifically?
So I mean, we've taken more of a, hey, you are not just receiving financial aid from us approach. This is we are your extended family. You are our extended family now. And so we've had now all of the families that we've come to touch or have touched us have become friends, right? And so we consider them family. We're in constant communication with them. We're going to their kids' hockey games. A lot of the ones we can that are local, we have them coming into New Jersey if they have a tournament. We'll all kind of bleed into one, and it's been tremendous. Just watching their family, who has something that they don't necessarily want to have in common with somebody in common, and just come together, and it's just been awesome. I don't know if I could point to a specific point, but it's just been incredible to watch these young kids show such bravery in the face of adversity and rally behind their moms.
That's just incredible because you see it, sticks on the ice, right? You see that change in their face.
For sure.
In fact, Ashley had commented on a photo that was on the website that just, I almost moved her to tears.
There's a little boy and he's the blondest little boy. He's so cute, and he's got a flag. He's skating with a flag and there is so much pain on his face. And I don't know if it's pain from skating, because I know the labor involved in skating, or if it's just the stress of all of this, that he's maybe like getting out, but it's like the best picture ever. Like that little boy just spoke to me. I don't know if you have that up there, Dawn. I don't know if I sent it to you.
Yeah, Dawn, I don't
I'll find it in a minute. But I actually, you're 5 years in, which is like, we know such a small amount of time in this incredible journey you're going to have going forward. But what do you think? What's your most proudest moment in just a tiny amount of time?
You hit the nail on the head with that one with the flag. That one's a real heart wrencher.
I see the pain in that little. I have 3 boys and 1 girl. I love my daughter, but my 3 boys, and that little boy's face, there's a million emotions in his face. I'm
Yeah.
gonna find the picture, but
Yeah, there certainly are. We've got a lot of younger kids. As you said earlier, the diagnosis age seems to be getting lower, right? So a lot of these kids that we're dealing with are younger than you would expect, right? It's not the grandma that's getting diagnosed with breast cancer. Right. It's not. It's your mid-30s, and we've got different young men. I call them young men because you really do become a young man coming out of watching your mother go through this, right? You become her rock. You become she leans on you, right? You kind of lean on each other. It just happens that way. But we went to a game down with our friends in Western New Jersey. We found out that not only was the mom that we were dealing with battling breast cancer, but 2 other moms were on that same team, which these are 8 and 10-year-old kids. To have 3 mothers on the same team battling breast cancer is just some wild number. And we were going down there for a breast cancer awareness game. We were meant to have, the little kids give flowers to their mom. They did. It was beautiful. And then there was a ceremonial puck drop where the 3 boys were going to participate. And what we found out was that we had recently stumbled on another family that happened to be playing that team in that game, whose mother had been battling breast cancer. And they invited the young boy to do that ceremonial face-off with them, to take that ceremonial face-off. You're not just opponents anymore in the game, right? Now you're in this together.
Absolutely.
Right? They never met this kid. They were about to play against him. They were going to, punch each other's faces off for an hour. But before that, hey, come over here, take this face off with us. We're all in this together. That was one that really gripped me. That was a tough one.
Yeah, that's pretty much how hockey's always been to me. Yeah, it's just this. I mean, not to be sexist, but it's a brotherhood,
It is.
and these guys will just rip each other apart on the ice, and then they will shake hands at the end, and you will see them all sitting in the same place together afterwards, and lifting elbows.
So it's funny you say brotherhood, right? Because there was a family now that we have outside of Pittsburgh, and they have this young daughter.
Yeah.
And this family, the mom's doing great. Our friend down out there is doing fantastic. The son is in his late teens, but the daughter, 10 years old, said, I want to play hockey too.
Good girl.
And she is the toughest little thing I've ever seen out there. It's fantastic. And she's running around like a maniac. So, and she now plays on an all-girls team as well, which is really cool.
Yeah,
so,
we're seeing more and more of it. It's amazing.
We certainly are. We're seeing more and more girls hockey, which is cool. Because there's another family we have outside Maryland, and there's 3 boys who play, and the young daughter is saying, wait a second, not so fast. I think I want in. That's
incredible.
Yeah.
Have the mothers ever shared how your foundation eased their burdens in a tangible way?
Yeah, so we've gotten a lot of feedback from the wonderful mothers that we deal with. Some of them write so eloquently, some of them speak so eloquently, and these are people that are fighting for their life, and they're reaching out to us with just endless words of praise. Hey, thank you so much for what your foundation is doing. It's incredible. We really appreciate the help, right?
My God, Nick,
but
that's incredible.
What we've found is that hockey moms will do whatever it takes to have their kid continue on their life. But what that does mean is that it comes at a sacrifice.
It does.
So there's only so much dollars and cents to go around. Right?
Yes.
If there's a situation in which the mom says, hey, I can either work overtime, or the father says, I can either work overtime because we've got treatments to coordinate, all this other stuff. I can't take another vacation day. I'll work the weekend. Mm-hmm. It's got to come from somewhere. Right. And hockey in our area is a very expensive sport.
Mm-hmm. It's everywhere.
So while these moms are saying, hey, I'll do whatever it takes, there's a sacrifice. You're not taking that weekend trip with your family, right? You're not going away because you're working, because you can't afford it, whatever it might be. These moms say, I'll have my kid play hockey if it's the last thing I do, but we know there are sacrifices.
Yeah.
So
it's like that ripple that just spreads out and out and out, and it just impacts everything.
So if we can cover the financial burden that hockey has, we're happy to do it so that you can go away with your family for the weekend, or spend that extra time, or not work that weekend. It's fantastic.
Yeah. So we have that picture up on a screen that you were talking about.
Oh, there he is.
Yeah. Yep, that's fantastic. And you know, there's a lot of pink going on in October, right? You have pink tape, pink flags, pink jerseys, all of that.
Yeah.
But these kids are out there and they're writing on the tape on their stick, right? If you've ever seen a hockey game, sometimes they're writing on the stick. And, that might be one kid on the team, but everybody's writing that same mom's name, or they're writing their aunt's name, or they're writing their grandma's name. And it's a wonderful time of year.
My God.
Like we said, there's a lot of stats thrown around in October, but to see it tangibly like that on the ice, where everybody's kind of coming together and rallying together, is fantastic.
I was looking at your website, and I'm all about statistics, but I read, and I don't know if I didn't know this or if it was just a way it had never been presented to me, but it said 1 out of every 8 women will be diagnosed with breast cancer. And I had dinner with some colleagues, friends, the other night, and there were 8 of us inadvertently. And I'm like, guys, one of us here is getting breast cancer.
Way to bring the fun to the dinner.
I know.
Yeah, no, it's a real
this is
number.
Me for you. I do this all the time. And I had my mammogram and it was negative. Thank you.
Congrats.
And I'm like, and it's not going to be me. So who's up? But I said, I read this the other day while I was working on my podcast, and one of us here is getting it.
Yep.
And I'm like, there's not very many of us here.
Nope.
And that sucked. That was in perspective. But and I'll put it out there. You have a really cool fundraiser. And I actually did it last night. For $8 a month, I can help your thing. And $8 a month, I spend that in coffee in a day.
It's not a lot,
honestly.
And it goes a long way in our world. So
you put the QR code for the foundation up on the screen.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
But seriously, like $8 a month. If you're my student, I have a lot of those. A lot. You guys got $8 a month. I watch your habits, for real. And my friends, for real. Oh, they stalk me hardcore. So,
and the administration too.
Yeah, those people too.
I know you can afford it.
But seriously, $8 a month. And I know it's hard for everybody right now, but I think that's it makes it so we're capable. I think we can all do $8 a month, and to break it. And that is a really scary statistics that 1 out of 8 young women, I think, who still have kids to take care of and to get to hockey. And my friend that just died, her kids haven't even got to graduate yet.
Yeah. It's shocking. Just
that sucks.
How far it's spreading within even like the hockey community. It impacts the fathers, the daughters have got to be worried about it. And this seems like just such a remarkable way for you to take that worry away and let them have a hockey game.
Well, so 2 things. One, the 1 in 8 number is crazy, right?
It is crazy.
When you're sitting in a circle of 8 women and you have that realization, it's powerful.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. That made it so real. It just happened to be a coincidence, but I was like, oh, wow.
Yeah. But the other thing is, you said I went from a mammogram. That's not always covered in women under 40.
I know.
Right. So
I'm over 40, but no, you're right. It is not.
For women,
you're old.
For women under 40, they're not going because it's not covered.
Right.
Right. And that's problematic in itself.
Mm-hmm.
But you're sitting around in a circle of 8, and that's a big number.
It is a big number.
But the way we're set up as a nonprofit is as a public charity. So there are 2 ways to set up foundations. One is if you have, some inheritance and you put it forward toward a charity. The other is public charity, which is crowdsourcing. The majority of our donations have to come from the general public. Mm-hmm. And so that's what we are. We rely heavily on the $8 a month crowd, right? Yeah. So if we can crowdsource together, we can then help more families, right? We've now helped 18 families, and we're across 12 different states. They've got collectively 24 kids. So that's a pretty big reach for an organization that's just, about 5 years strong. Yeah. When we first jumped in, the question becomes, hey, is there a need for what we're setting our mission out to be? We've found since that the answer is overwhelmingly yes. Unfortunately, we'd love for there not to be, but we found that there's a need for it. But our first year, we did some fundraising just like we normally did, and there was somebody in our hockey community, like we like to say, that said, "Hey, there's a kid that I used to coach, and his mom is diagnosed with breast cancer. They could really use the help. And we said, say no more, let's talk to him. And that was our first kid. And that was, 5 years ago. And since then we've grown, and we don't just say, okay, for this year, like you said, this is not, okay, cool. That was fun. 8 weeks. See ya. No, this is a commitment that we make to these families, and we stay with them. So if you have an 8-year-old kid, like we've got several on our list right now, if you got an 8-year-old kid, he might play hockey for the next 10 years. That doesn't get less expensive, and you don't magically get more money. It doesn't happen that way. So we stay with these families through and through that whole time, if we can, right? So long as we can. We're now 5 years long. We're still involved with that same first kid. We've taken on a lot more because we've grown. But this is not a one and done for us, right? The hockey community doesn't operate that way. It's not see you later. We're involved with these families. Like I said, they become a part of our family. They become part of our fabric. And we're not going to abandon them.
And then come back.
Yeah.
As
Sure.
older adults.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So like you said, the fathers take a lot of this burden, financial burden and work burden, because there's a family that we have out in California. The father has to commute to work, but the mom has to get to treatments.
Right.
And so it's very difficult to make that work. So you find that the greater hockey community is saying, I'll grab your kids, you take mom to treatment. There's 2 boys that play. They've got to get to hockey. They've got to get to treatment. And then the father has to find some time to work somewhere, right?
Yeah.
So something's got to give
Right.
more often than not.
Nick, I have Mike over my shoulder. What's the cost to sponsor a kid for a year on average?
It varies, right? New York and New Jersey is on the high end. And if you're a 12-year-old kid, it costs you $13,000 to play hockey for a year. If you're Midwestern, a lot of those organizations out there are set up kind of like co-ops. It's cheaper. It could be hovering around $2,500, $3,500, somewhere in there. So I'd say I'd average it out at 8,000 a year to play travel hockey for a kid. And a lot of these families have more than one kid. So, yeah. So it's a very expensive proposition. And, you make this commitment to your kid before you know what life's going to throw at you.
Right.
And the last thing you want is for this kid to lose this piece of his life, to lose his connection to his friends and his family, hockey family, quote unquote. Stability. Not only that,
consistency.
you have team sports or sports in general, and the cardiovascular element of it really reduce depression.
Of
Yeah,
course.
it's therapy. It's an escape. It's support.
An escape. It's good for your mental health. If you go out there and you say, my mom's going through cancer at home, I can't play hockey, you're going to spiral into a very dark place.
Yeah.
But if you keep up that sense of community, if you keep up that physical activity, your mental health will improve. With studies have shown, it's not something that's made up. You can feel it, you can see it.
Oh, well, we're very familiar with the hormones released in cardiovascular.
So to put the pressure on your students, Ashley, Mike says that
And everybody.
BBO will match the next $1,000 you get over the next 24 hours. So any donations you get
Awesome.
over the next 24 hours, Michael,
We appreciate
match that up to
That's
$1,000.
awesome. That's great. Thank you,
Yeah.
guys.
So
It's
let's
not a cheap sport, I'll tell you that.
bring it on, my friends.
And we can't just play outside here.
Yeah, and he says his jersey size is double XL, in case you were wondering.
Well, I
He's
think,
actually lying. It's triple XL, just for the record.
I think Code Lavender, we're going to give $250.
All
Yeah.
right. Thanks, guys.
Yeah. So,
All right, so there you go, $1,250. Let's go, people.
Yeah, that would be awesome. I mean, listen, the $8 a month goes a long way,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
These costs, when you crowdsource them, they fade away very quickly, right? If you have a community going after it, we're just the vessel, right? That's really what we are. We connect the dots. There's a need for what we're doing, and there's people who want to do good. We're just the middleman, right? We're happy to connect the dots.
and if there's a coach out there or a team that has a kid that's in need, what is the referral process? How do they get in touch with you and let you know that there's a family out there?
Yeah, so it's funny because families are never going to say, let me seek help, let me sit down and Google this when they're going through this, right? They don't have time.
Of course not.
That's not the first thing that they're thinking of. So what you'll find is that a coach or a fellow parent will do a little Googling on their own, or if they've heard about us, they'll reach out to us and say, hey, there's this family. So there's an application on our website that you can say, I'm a friend of such and such family, right? People just don't know that the resources are out there. Tanya and I spoke about this couple weeks ago, right?
Yeah.
You guys are on the front lines. You're holding patients' hands. If you get wind that, hey, they're playing some hockey outside of whatever's going on here.
It's one of those things that you want to draw out of the kids to get them to come out of their shell and have a little talk and let you, again, as we've said, Nick, we always seem to focus on the fear that the child may be feeling. And I mean, personally, I can only speak for myself. I kind of stopped there. I don't really consider that, oh my God, the impact on this kid losing his, I mean, it's such a huge part of a child's life playing hockey. It's something they never forget. I did figure skating when I was a kid, and I hated every second of it. I was so bad at it, but I'll never forget it. When you were saying like how the hockey moms kick in, the figure skating moms are the same way, tying your skates and everything. So I think that for us as nurses, knowing that, if that does come out, or if the kid's wearing a jersey or whatever, if it pops up, this is such an amazing resource to be able to provide to the family.
That you guys, they lean on you for emotional support just as much as they do for medical support, right?
Yeah.
So you guys are part-time therapists, part-time healthcare workers, right? And so
full-time resource getters.
Right. So any nurses out there, being able to offer up a resource or just pass along some information that might help a family that's going through this.
Incredible.
It's invaluable.
Right? It really, truly is. Yeah.
And we try our best not to overburden the families that we come in contact with. So we try to keep that 1 degree of separation for as long as possible until it's time to make touchdown. And then even then, we generally don't communicate with the family about finances very much. We take it to the organizational level.
Mm-hmm.
So our organization will speak with their hockey organization.
Mm-hmm.
And just another thing that makes the hockey community so special is that more often than not, the organization that the kid is playing for is willing to help as well.
Mm-hmm.
They just happen to not know what's going on as well, right? So if you don't have the information,
or it just doesn't occur to you, that's a priority.
Right. We step in as advocates for the family as much as we do, covering financials. But there was one instance out in Long Island where somebody reached out to us. Hey, my son plays hockey. The mom next door was going through a bunch of treatments. She's battling breast cancer. Seems like this kind of fits. Her kid's been hanging around the rink with my kid and really wants to play. And now as a family battling breast cancer, taking all the time off work, you're saying my kid wants to start the most expensive sport we could think of.
Right.
So we hooked, we just kind of played advocate, reached out to a program out on Long Island, and they covered the kid with full gear, head to toe. And they got him enrolled in Learn to Play Hockey. And the kid's, off to the races since. It's our 3rd year with them, and they're fantastic. But, it was bred out of the mom's challenges, logistical challenges, that the neighbor said, he's been hanging around my kid at the rink a lot, and I think he wants to play. What do I do? Who can help us out here? I don't want to introduce this to the family because they're dealing with enough.
Right.
And we said, say no more. We'll make a few calls, see if we could, drum some help up. And we did. And it's been fantastic. And he's a pretty darn good hockey player right now. So it's fun to watch.
Oh, that's
Awesome.
incredible.
And as far as other, do you have opportunities for people that want to get involved to volunteer or to help with equipment or help with fundraisers or at the game, or are there other ways to get involved?
So it's funny because this week happened to be, we got a call out of the blue from a woman who had stumbled on one of the events we're hosting in New Jersey this year. Or I should say, 2 of the mothers that we cover are hosting an event for us in Western New Jersey. That's just kind of the way this goes in hockey. It seems like the most support that we've gotten back has been from the families that we've helped as they blossom and grow, post-diagnosis, post-treatment, post-treatment. They come out of this and they say, your foundation was there for us. We'd like to give back. And we have a bunch of events going on. There was a 5K this morning down in Maryland, held from one of the mothers that we're involved with. She hosted it. She walked it. She made a beautiful speech beforehand. And then these mothers on Western New Jersey are hosting an event at a brewery. But we got a call because somebody had seen their advertisement. They said, hey, my job offers me 4 hours a month time off to volunteer with a charity. What do you guys need? And I'll say we need hands all the time.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Like our group right now, our board is 6 or 7 strong.
Mhm.
And that's not enough hands when you're dealing with the magnitude that we're, of events, of people, of funds that we're involved with. So we're always looking for volunteers to help make baskets, right? Make phone calls, send thank you cards, stuff like that. All this kind of, if you have some downtime and want to donate
Mhm.
your time, we'd love to have you. As much as we would love to have sponsors for our event in February, right?
Yeah.
Or donations, physical donations of actual money. We actually need all hands on deck at all times. So, we are stretched quite thin. A lot of the other nonprofits out there have full-time staff.
Right.
Right? We don't have that. We're all volunteers doing it outside of one, and maybe, it's 2025, 2 jobs that you're already working.
Yeah.
And so our folks are stretched pretty thin. If you know anybody who is willing to donate their time or want to help out, hop on our board meeting call, see what's going on, want to learn more, we're happy to entertain those conversations.
Yeah, me and Mike get that. We were just nodding our heads in here when you were talking because BBO is the same way. Everything's volunteer. Nobody gets paid for it, and it's a lot. People don't realize it. They don't when you're in a constant state of fundraising. While you're working your jobs and all that, and it's like, time is the hardest thing to get from people.
It's a commodity in this line of work, right?
Yep.
In October, it happens to be when we kind of put the pedal to the metal. So we have a lot of events that we like to be there for events that are hosted for us, right? We would be at all of them if we could. So we've got some in upstate New York, some that are taking place in Pittsburgh, some that are taking place, New Jersey's an easy one, right? We're right here, but they're happening everywhere. There'll be some college kids who get wind of our organization. They'll say, we're going to do a Pink the Ring too, and we're going to donate our funds back to Mina Singer Foundation. And I'm like, well, never heard of your school, but let's go, right? We're coming.
That's incredible.
And so we've hopped on planes and trains and automobiles to get to these events. And by the end of October, we're pretty burned out and stretched pretty thin, but
we're so grateful you made the time for us today, Nick.
Like, just like this, I'm happy to be here. This is
awesome.
a great opportunity. I appreciate you guys sharing your platform with us.
Get up and stretch your legs. I'm going to put the QR code back up on the screen again. BBO is going to match the next $1,000 that comes in, and Lavender is going to match $250 that comes in. So that's $1,250 in match donations. Let's go, guys. If you are actually students, stop.
Or my friends or my family.
Or
I must have a
If
friend
you
that
don't
will
know
do it.
me, I expect you to give some money.
There you go. Get up and stretch your legs, and we'll be back in 5.
Some Canadians will send some money.
Yeah,
Oh, no,
They should. Come on, guys.
Canadians.
Cross-border action.
Definitely they should.
In the comments, they need to tell us what they call bacon.
Stop.
Canadian.
Oh my God, don't open that clam again.
All right, see you in 5.
All right.
The views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent.
Welcome back.
Yeah, welcome back after that brief break and our little walk by certain someone.
It's just so hard to
We
wrangle them up. I need a sheepdog in here.
We appreciate that.
Sheepdogs. All right.
So can I just jump in with a quick story? Do you guys mind?
Oh, God,
Yes.
please.
It just rallied my brain here in that conversation. So we were having a conversation about what pro organizations could do for us or have done for us in the past. Because the question came up, have we done any kind of marquee events outside of just the game that we run? And we mentioned that we played the FDNY team or the B team 2 years ago in a great fundraiser, had a lot of fun. So we're always willing to get involved with other organizations, but I have to give some props to the Philadelphia Flyers, unfortunately, in this Rangers environment. But we have one of the parents in that team that we chat with on Western New Jersey, where there are 3 moms. We kind of took a flyer. We called up the Flyers organization and said, "Hey, we've got this mom that's right outside Philly, big Philly fans. We'd love to have them come to your game. Is there any chance that you guys would donate a set of tickets to get the family out, kind of take their mind off stuff?" And the Flyers organization came back with an Uno reverse card that I'd never seen before. They said, why don't we schedule a call? We'll talk about this. And what they came back with was, "Hey, we're not doing our Hockey Fights Cancer Night in October. We're doing it in November. Do you think that's okay?" And I was like, "That sounds fine." They're like, "Okay, one step further. What do you think about if we honored that mom as the cancer survivor of the night and highlighted her story and had her on the Jumbotron?" And they did. And they put her up in a suite with those other 2 moms and those full families. They took them out to the game and really just made it special for them. And in addition to that, they had them out a week prior for a spa day with the players and the organization and the people out there. So just little tokens of appreciation like that just goes so far are just remarkable to watch, right? I wasn't there. I didn't get a pedicure and a manicure, but I was able to watch the joy that these families experience from having been there themselves, right? They had this beautiful spa day put on by the Philadelphia Flyers to say, "We know you've been through a lot.
We see you.
We see you."
Yeah,
So-
we see your kids.
See, this is why Saquon's in Philly. Things are better in Philly.
Come to Camden. Things are bad in Philly. That's the saying for Donkey's cheesesteaks. Come to Camden. Things are bad in Philly. If you know anything about Camden, that's why it's very funny. Camden's
Well, Camden's amazing, I hear.
what?
It's the like murder capital.
This
of
is
the
no
world,
plug.
right?
This is not a plug for Donkey's steaks, but it's so delicious. They're in a really, really, really bad area of Camden.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it's like an oasis. That block
You want to go?
that Donkey's is on.
I don't know if I'm that brave.
You could leave your car unlocked. I mean, walk a block and you're probably going to get shanked. But on that block, in that bar, they serve booze in there. The mix of the people and the people that go in there, and it's like hands. Everybody knows you don't mess around on that block because nobody wants Donkey's to be closed. They have the best. Forget about Pat's. Forget about Geno's. The best cheesesteak in the world is Camden's. Is Donkey's place.
I don't know, 2 girls.
But that's not what I was going to say. This hurts me too to talk about the Flyers, but the Lehigh Valley Phantoms, I have a connection there. The guy who runs their philanthropy kind of stuff, right? Like all their giveaways and all that stuff. I'm going to reach out to him because he said to me at an event once, "Anything you want." I was going to do something with our charity, just never panned out. But this is more geared towards what you guys do. I'll reach out to him and see what he has to say. I'll get a little clip of this. I'll send it to him. And, it's in Allentown. It's not too far from here at all.
Yeah, that would be
That's
amazing.
awesome.
I'd appreciate that.
And they do a lot of good stuff. They do a lot of good stuff in the community, the Lehigh Valley Phantoms in Allentown, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, we have in the past been involved with some minor league teams from just a pure donation standpoint where they've sent tickets our way for our basket raffle, right? Because our basket raffle is in large part what drives the crowd to our game in February. We put a lot of effort into it to make it as grand as possible. So we've gotten donations of tickets from AHL teams, from NHL teams, and the like. So it's really important to have that kind of support in the hockey community. And we do see that hockey families, hockey teams like to help other hockey families and hockey teams, right?
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
You got to shake them down. You got to like shake them down like a 1980s cop, right? Like you got to get a piece of that 50-50 at night. You ever do that? You ever get the charity, like the hockey games, you have the 50-50 every night.
Yep.
And every game, right? So across the whole season, there's a 50-50 every night at that home game. They do it for a charity. There's always a charity feature. Do you ever get involved or get a piece of that?
We have not, but that sounds like a great outlet. We should definitely get on that.
Yeah, all you got to do is ask. I mean, the worst that can happen is they can say no.
Yeah, we have a mantra at our organization where we say, collect your no's, right? Because at the end of every 10 no's, there's a yes waiting for you. So we're always
sounds like auditions. Exactly.
Right, exactly right.
Yeah,
Except
strike
it's
out.
more like 30.
Strike out 10 times to put one in the bleachers. You know what I mean?
That's all you need.
Yeah.
And so that's why we call the flyers for that, those tickets.
Yeah.
Why not ask?
Sure.
What's the downside? There is none.
Right.
Let's see what we can find out. And so
throw it against the wall enough times, it's going to stick.
that's right. That's what we do. And you're talking about pork roll there, right?
No, I don't want to talk about pork products anymore.
And when do your tickets go on sale for this game?
Our event is free. You just show up.
All right.
So
Get him in the door for free.
that's it.
You're gonna have a lot of cops there now because it's for free. It's for me, and give me 3.
Yeah, we'd love to have them. No, we have a couple of NYPD guys that play in our game, so it's fantastic.
Well, Nick, looking ahead, what's your vision for the next 5 years of the Mina Singer Foundation? Where do you hope to grow to?
Yeah, so we are growing in leaps and bounds by the year.
Mm-hmm.
But as we were speaking about off air, I'm aging out of our game now, right? So the more families we can help, the more children we become involved with, the more kids can age into our game. Our game's 18 plus, obviously, and we're going to have our first new player of one of the families that we've helped be in that this year, which is so exciting.
Yeah.
But what's going to be really exciting is when the whole compilation of the teams are made up of families that we've touched.
Yeah.
And, with so many kids under our umbrella already, we're heading in that direction.
Yeah.
I can't wait to retire from that game and just watch it. But more importantly, these are kids who have never met before, right? That will be participating, and just knowing that they're bonded in this is special.
Yeah.
We were at our game 2 years ago, and we had 3 mothers in the stands that were under our umbrella who had never met one another before.
Mm-hmm.
And I got off the ice mid-game because I had to make this introduction. This was special. And these were moms who were there just to support us, right? Their kids weren't playing in this game. They said, Mina Singer's Foundation was there for us. We'd like to be there for them. And I was able to make that introduction and just watch them chat. And it was amazing because they're strangers, sure, but they were dealt this hand, all 3 of them, and they are bonded in being hockey moms. And if you're part of the sport, you know what that means. It's just a different breed of human.
It is. It's a commitment and it's a sacrifice. It's just, but I mean, to be a part of that kind of humanity and humility is it must be an honor for you.
Yeah, because that day we were able to have their kids come out on the ice after the game to skate around, hang out. Again, a bunch of kids who had never met before, but they know that my mom's a fighter, your mom's a fighter. We're in this together, and they were just instantly bonded. They just instantly had something to talk about. They shared the commonality of the sport, but also they're part of this club that nobody has to be a part of, but they're in it. And so they came together that same game. So just watching these families become a bigger family has been fantastic. But to answer the question, it's 5 years down the line, I'd love to have 50% or more of this roster made up of the kids that we're currently involved with, and have them all sitting side by side on a bench, playing a sport they love together, just knowing like, hey, we're in this together, and have that sense of camaraderie away from, I'd love to grow and help everybody. The real goal here is obviously to find a cure, right? But you guys and we are both dealing with the human side of living with.
It's
breast
the
cancer.
Now
Right.
that, it's putting it's like almost firefighter some days.
Yep. So all this money and effort that goes toward finding a cure, we're all focused on living with. And so the vision would be, if we have to be in this situation, it's together.
Are there any sort of new programs or partnerships on the horizon?
So we're working on a few different things with a few different organizations. But we're planning to grow our game from what it is now, which is just a single hockey game, into more of a white glove feel, So what we're working on now is to get more corporate sponsorships to jazz that up a little bit and just to make the whole thing kind of elevate the whole thing, which would be very nice.
Yeah.
So that's where we're headed.
Awesome. Yeah.
But I appreciate you guys giving us this platform. This is, it's a tough conversation to have, right? It's such a gray cloud, but inside of there is a silver lining where all of these families that we know are coming together, and you guys and us are connecting, and hopefully one day you can pass along our information to the right patient, and we can be involved in their life.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's all part of nursing for us. I mean, we usually, talk in terms of survival rates and treatment plans, but what really stays with nurses is the small human moments. I mean, like the moms who are more worried, as you said at the beginning, about her kid missing his hockey practice or game because of her diagnosis.
So shout out to Erin, who's one of our moms down in New Jersey. She made a vow to herself and to her son that she would not miss a hockey game so long as she's going through treatments, and she kept her word. And that's just the kind of commitment that you find. Aww. And so,
Aaron.
And so when we see, their whole organization made some beautiful jerseys with little "I Fight For" imprints on it. And he put his mom's name right on there, and he wore it with pride, and it was fantastic.
Oh God, that's so special.
Yeah, I told you, it's these young kids that are becoming young men as they go through this with their
that's
mom.
a perfect example of it. That really demonstrates exactly what you said.
That's been incredible. It's been incredible to watch.
Yeah.
That is awesome. Yeah, and I think, I work mostly with kids, and I think it's really important for us to recognize that they do know.
They 100%
No matter how much we hide from them, they do know. So I think it's okay to talk about it. It's okay to let them discuss how they feel and to give them the outlet, and also to support mom to be there, because life does go on during this. It is not a 2-week or a 6-week thing. It's a long thing. So, let her get to every game and, be there and support the family. And, 1 in 8 women, again, I'm going to bring that up because it's crazy. It's a really dire statistic, is going to go through this. So to just, support people. And, I think too, to your point, a lot of women are unable to get a mammogram due to our healthcare system and coverage and lack of coverage. And even scheduling a mammogram is an interesting adventure. I found out, it was very frustrating just to get scheduled with insurance. So I think, if you're having trouble, if you don't have coverage, reach out to Tanya and I have some resources for women to be able to maybe get mammograms when they don't have coverage. I've
what to expect.
Done some digging for that, but
I know a lot of women who are afraid to get them.
Well, it's not very comfortable.
Okay,
but,
a lot of things aren't.
But
you could be afraid of the process or the result, right?
Yeah.
You could be afraid of either one. But like you said, the kids in these families, they know what's going on. We've seen different levels of what families want to share with their kids, right? Some are saying, my son's 8, let's open this world to him and tell him exactly what's going on. Other families might not.
Well, there are ways to talk to kids.
Right.
Well, some people need help talking to their kids. They don't know how.
Yeah.
Correct.
And and a lot of times I don't think we offer that because we don't think to offer it, or we think they've got it. Sometimes they don't.
They've also got a lot going on at the time, right?
Yeah.
So it's very tough.
It's a lot.
As a father myself, I can tell you, if there's something going on with mom, no one has to tell the kid. He's well aware of it. He feels it, right? It's that animal instinct.
They listen.
I know.
They
They listen too.
They listen.
But they can tell changes in moods, right?
Yeah.
If your mom comes home and she's exhausted and she's laying in bed, and that's not what she's normally doing, there's something wrong.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so you can try to shield the kid from it, but you might not necessarily be protecting them from exactly what you think you are. So we see a lot of kids that they have that intuition that something's going on and they need to be spoken with. And somebody needs to coach a mom on how to have that conversation while she's staring down the biggest fight she's ever fought in her life. Right. So
well, that's always a debate too, right? It's how much do you share with the kid? I mean, is it better to not tell them till there's very little left to tell them, or I don't know. What do you guys know about it? What do you recommend? I mean, is it?
I think you have to be honest, and I think you have to be if things become bad,
Right.
I think you have to be honest then, and that I think like maybe a little bit at first,
That's
but
exactly what I was thinking.
if it's getting bad, you have to tell the truth,
it's titrating
and
the information, giving
yeah.
it out in small,
because again,
digestible.
they
Right.
know.
Yeah.
You might think you're telling them, but they might already know.
They know.
Right?
Yeah. And again, to your point, you can say like, this is what we're dealing with, and mom or dad might not be feeling great at times, but when mom and dad are really, really in bad shape, they know. They see these things, they pick up on it. So I think just being honest, and when you need help navigating, there are people that can help with that, and checking in all the time, because kids, and I think hockey or whatever, it's a great outlet because kids have to have somewhere to get it out, and maybe that's where it is. They need an outlet too, and maybe mom and dad can't provide it because they're preoccupied with this stuff. So this is another space, and
the kids are trying to manage their emotions.
You're making it possible for them to have their space that they might not otherwise have.
Yeah.
You need that, like you said, you need that outlet, right? You, as a kid, you're still learning how to manage your emotions to begin with, and then you're dealing with this frustration and anxiety. To have the outlet is fantastic, right? Any kind of physical sport that you can get involved with. It doesn't have to be hockey.
Right.
It could be any sport.
It's so true, but at the same time, it's just so valuable to the mother, and she's my patient. So she's the one who I'm most worried. Like, that's the biggest fire that's burning for me, and it's just so incredible to be able to take that worry away for her, what you guys do. It's just, healing is not just physical.
Well, we say the kids need the outlet, but the mom also needs something else to focus on too, right? She wants to go home. She doesn't want to be dealing with, whatever work.
A break from it.
Right. She wants that outlet. She wants to go watch her son play. That might bring her the most joy in life.
Of course.
Right. So to have her feel that same, sense of outlet there is also invaluable.
Yeah.
So it's just been incredible.
Yeah.
Yep. So I think, to recap, Don put the website for the Mina Singer Foundation on the screen, and we encourage everybody just to log on, see what they're doing. There's some just awesome information on this website, really great pictures. Your game is on President's Day, you said, in Woodbridge.
I did. Yep.
New Jersey. I'll be there. We'll be there.
Free to enter.
We are gonna.
I love a hockey game.
Yeah, we can come volunteer. That's exciting stuff. And I encourage everybody, donate something if you can. This is just incredible work.
Or reach out. Let's talk. Right.
Yeah.
Open the conversation. If you have.
Yeah, if you know somebody who needs this support. And
Well,
Code Lavender is
1
going.
in 8. Someone's got a patient.
And that's the thing.
Someone's got a patient.
I've never met somebody who doesn't know somebody who has been
100%.
affected by breast
Yeah.
cancer. I think most of us could sit here and tell you a story about our family member or a friend or, somebody that we know who has battled this. And I think one of the saddest things for me is I can tell you people who have battled this not once, but twice, or maybe a third time in their life. And so it's a lot to deal with. And I think, go on, do what you can, volunteer, donate, get involved, come to the game, $8 a month.
Most hockey teams are in the neighborhood of a 16-person roster. That's 2 moms.
Yeah.
Right. That's
two moms for that
right
team,
there. Yep.
which is crazy.
And we could talk statistics and survival rates, but as we said, the age is getting lower. We've lost 2 moms in our organization in this 5-year span. Right. So it's impacting people. We've been to umpteen games, celebrating breast cancer awareness, where there's always a kid on the team whose mom comes out to drop a ceremonial puck, whose grandma comes out and drops a ceremonial puck. 1 in 8 is a very large number. Everybody knows somebody. So it takes, it's free to share a link. Share the link.
Oh, yeah.
Right. It costs nothing. Share away, please.
Yeah.
And everybody we're nurses. We deal with a lot of people. My 90-year-olds, they know how to use social media.
Nice.
Everybody uses social media. So share away. And, Code Lavender, we're going to put $250 in the pot.
Yep.
Brothers
We
Before
appreciate that.
Others, which is an amazing organization. They're going to match the first $1,000 donated. So everybody, do what you can. It's a great
Take our money,
October.
please.
Please,
We
please.
appreciate that, guys. Thank you very much.
Yeah. And thank you so much for joining
Yes,
us.
Thank you
Thank
for
you.
the time and thank you for
I'm
sharing
so
your platform
excited
with
that
us.
we, and I always say it's funny how you find people. We found you through her hairdresser.
Yep.
Funniest thing ever. She's like, "Oh, let me tell you about this guy named Nick." And right away, we're both like, "Whoa."
Oh yeah, I mean, if you could hear the.
It comes from where you least expect it.
Hey,
I'll
Nick,
tell
if you want an easy win for that tournament game, just inviting the Canadian team down. They can't win the cup. They're certainly not going to win a game against you guys.
All right. We're not going to open that clam.
Canadian
Maybe they'll
US.
bring some Canadian bacon down with them too.
He's just cruising today.
It's delicious Canadian bacon.
Let's
It's like
do it.
it's
Let's do it.
it's the pork roll of Canada.
There's a lot of stairs to go down there.
Just slice
my
hair.
friend.
Yeah.
That's all it is. It's a slab of hair.
You're
on a plate.
threatening the police. Just
Oh,
The
I've had
police
worse.
don't scare
I've
me.
had worse threats by much scarier people.
Uh-huh.
You don't scare me.
Mhm.
Blame Canada.
Uh-huh.
Can you play that as an outro? Or-
No, we can't.
is it copyrighted?
Probably.
No, we appreciate you guys having us on. This is really, really cool.
Yeah.
And I love to see all the hockey. There's a hockey jersey in the room right now. So how
Oh
cool
yeah.
is that?
Well,
Was that an accident
What's that?
that
Wow.
you're wearing an NHL jersey right now?
No,
Oh,
it's
okay.
absolutely not an accident. No,
Probably because it's like an ice rink in here. You need to prepare.
Oh.
that's
So I
a
was going to
good
ask
one.
if anybody had any plugs, and apparently Ashley's got one for heating companies. Like, it's fine. Don't worry about it.
I'm not cold in the least.
My
man.
electric
There
bill
are.
was $950, the last bill.
You're being ripped off.
David Letterman studio.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right.
All right, Nick. I know.
On that note-
Plug the websites again. Any ways they can contact you, the organization, volunteer.
Social media is always the way, right? That's the most accessible point. Other than that, our website, minasingerfoundation.org. We can link you guys if you need it, but we have a contact us right in there. You can email it, goes right to me. Happy to field it. There's a phone number up there as well. Always happy and welcoming new conversations. So I'd love to chat with anybody who wants to talk.
Awesome.
Excellent.
Girls, anything to plug?
Oh, we are doing our breast cancer walk for Code Lavender on October 19th in Central Park. So come out, join us, walk. We're super excited about it.
Stretch it.
Nice.
Stretch it. I'm putting the graphics up. Stretch.
Okay. Well,
You-
come and join the nurses.
Here you go.
Is
You-
that part of the Susan G. Komen?
No, we're
It's the
doing
American,
it's one in Central Park. It's not the Susan G.
it's not the Susan G. Komen.
No.
That made my feet bleed the last time I did it. It was too long.
That was too long.
Now, do you guys have a show next week too?
Yes,
We do.
We do.
But
you
it's
doing?
gonna be fun.
Oh,
Okay.
I've done some. feet
Oh,
on
that's the
ground.
Halloween episode.
Yeah, there's
Yes,
not gonna be anything
I'm
serious
fresh.
Mike,
about this.
I'm submitting a slip for a P day that day. What do you have?
What's
I'm
a
in all
P-Day?
three shows,
I'll-
so I
yeah, I'll
can't do
come
the
in.
booth.
Okay.
All the girls reveal what they're going to be right now.
Oh God, no,
No.
because we don't know.
I do.
Wait, how do you not know? It's a week away.
I do. I
It's
know.
the American Cancer Society walk.
Cool.
Sorry.
Be a
Because
sexy prisoner.
we are going to do last minute planning like we always do.
Okay.
We're nurses. Do you have a calendar? Like,
No, I do
what
not.
are you going to be for Halloween, Mo?
I'm scary enough on myself. Don't worry
Are
about
you going to
it.
be a Halloween
Eric,
Mary?
He's gonna be
Eric
Mo.
Lindros.
Yeah, I'm going to be Eric Lindros.
No.
Wait, this is
You could
Mike's
be Berdor.
jersey.
Well,
That's
you-
my
Yeah.
jersey.
You can be Berdor. I believe I still have my Berdor
You guys
jersey.
should do the twin shirt,
Oh.
the get along shirt.
You know what we should do? No, Mike, let's be stepbrothers. You want to be
I
the
think you guys.
stepbrothers?
I think you guys
Touch my
should.
drums.
Get your liver spotted hands off my mother. Yeah, no,
Listen,
well,
we
sorry.
got this whole flyer thing that there's an 80s, 90s party.
Yeah.
We are so perplexed over what we might be for that
80s,
it's stressing.
90s.
I'm going to
Be
be
flock
Freddie
of
Mercury if
seagulls.
that counts.
There's a
Two
party
decades,
here for 80s,
20
90s.
years of characters to
We
choose
might be
from.
the Spice Girls.
You can't figure out.
We
No,
might be
Spice
Romy
Girls
and
weren't
Michelle.
80s. Spice Girls were 90s.
It's
Okay,
80s,
80s,
90s.
90s.
Oh, 80s.
party.
Aren't you coming? to
Are you
it?
not coming, Mo?
Oh my God, he doesn't even know about it.
Were you not invited,
Was he not
darling?
invited?
What? I know. What? I wasn't invited.
Were you not?
Of course you were invited.
Oh goodness.
Nobody invites me to anything.
Oh my.
I think you were
So
in the
sorry.
group chat for it.
Oh yeah.
It's Batman.
No, you are not coming as
I
Batman.
am Batman.
Are you not?
I'm not.
You're not.
Dawn,
And-
what are you plugging?
No, I'm not plugging anything.
Atta girl.
You're not going to plug
I
the
can blind-
P-Bird pod that's airing next week.
Yeah,
at
the
12
P-Bird
o'clock?
pod that's airing next week on the 18th at 12 o'clock.
No more
It is
bourbon
our-
for her at the computer. Though. She sits there quiet. She's probably had 3 classes of that Frank Sinatra.
No, I just
blend.
had one, but I'm lacking coffee. I didn't really have much to add to the
Bottle of stuff.
conversation. I'm not in healthcare. I'm not, I didn't have much to add to this conversation.
You're going to need healthcare if you don't start picking up your game out there.
What the heck? All right, that's it.
That's-
Nothing else. All right, so I'm going to do my plug then. Bible365.com. That is the site run by Charlie Kirk's wife, Erica Kirk. You can choose how you receive the daily readings by email, text, or you can sign up for their website. Their app. Everything is 100% free. They don't charge anything for it. And you'll get a daily reading every day. And if you do that daily reading in over a year's time, you will have read the Bible cover to cover. Tying that to what we were talking about today, maybe a little God in your life might be something that could help. Anything that could help deal with life. So Bible365.com. Check it out. That's all I got. Anything?
All right.
Any last words of wisdom?
Happy
All right, great.
October.
Yeah, happy October. And
Yeah.
Canada sucks at hockey. Have a good one.
Hey,